Welcome to this video, which is designed to assist customers and staff in measuring jackets, kilts and trousers. When measuring jackets, there are key elements which must be taken into consideration at all times. A chest size must never be taken with the arms up. You will find that if you measure a chest with the arms up, it will generally measure slightly smaller. It is important to have a small allowance actually built in. In other words, it should be measured slightly loose, and you achieve this by placing two fingers behind the tape measure. For waist sizes, the importance, particularly with men, is to ensure that they breathe out and are not purposely bringing the stomach in, and that the two fingers are placed to allow a certain level of looseness. To measure accurately a sleeve length, this can really only be achieved by wearing a jacket. There is a certain element of taste which comes into choice of arm length, or what is called a crown to cuff measurement, and you should ask the customer, whether they require it slightly long, slightly short. The standard measurement, is just to above the midway between the wrist and the thumb. You must take the measurement from the top, what is called the crown, to the middle of the cuff, and if you have to add some on, take some off, then do it at this point. If measuring for doublets, one of the key measurements is the collar size. This is generally achieved by standard measurement, but this time there is only one finger placed within the tape measure. There are three basic measurements for a kilt: waist, seat, and what is termed drop. The waist measurement is generally taken 2 inches above the belly button and or 2 inches above the hip bone. Always ask the customer to point these two points out and measure directly from there yourself. Again, ensure that there is no impediments at the back when measuring. Check carefully. And also for a kilt, ensure that it is pulled very slightly tight. As the sheer weight of a kilt, it's important that it fits snugly. For a seat measurement, always turn the client sideways so that you can quite clearly see where the widest part of the hip extends. Measure from the side, carefully check that there is nothing in the pockets or in the hip, and take the measurement. Again, this should be a relatively tight measurement, but not too tight. As regards the drop on the kilt, this is done in two ways. One, again, using the belly button measurement and measuring to either the top of the knee or the middle of the knee. In general, preferable to measure to the middle of the knee. The measurement can be cross-checked in effect by using both the belly button and also the hip measurement. Trousers or trews. Normal trousers generally taken with the hip as the measurement, taking a waist measurement round just above the hip bone, which is normally where it would sit, and again should be reasonably tight but not uncomfortable. For seat measurement, exactly the same principle applies as to measuring for a kilt, and you take at the widest point, turn sideways, check there's nothing in the pockets, there's no impediments to the measurement. For an outside leg measurement and an inside leg measurement, it is preferable to use a proper tape measure, which has a metal end. Find the hip bone, ask the customer to do this, check yourself, place the measure slightly above the hip bone and measure down to the middle of the shoe at the side. For an inside leg measurement, kneel in front of them, correct positioning of the metal part into the crotch area, and then extend the tape measure down again to the middle of the shoe on the inside.